sides. Jillian tossed her sponge in the sink. Do you feel up to making the dressing for the arugula?
Happy to.
Nolan sprinkled pepper on the main dish and put it in the oven.
I arranged some help for you today.
Jillian cocked her head. I wasn't aware I needed help. A maid? A counselor? A spiritual director? A running coach? Nolan spun her around by the shoulders and marched her into the dining room.
Has it occurred to you that we have been unable to dine in this room for quite some time? That, in fact, it is becoming increasingly difficult even to traverse safely through on the way to the living room?
You can always go by way of the hall. I have it under control, Dad.
I beg to differ.
Jillian scowled. Usually she kept her work contained to her office, which was a few steps down a short hall right off the kitchen. Overflow files might temporarily occupy the two side chairs across from her desk, but not often for long. Many of her genealogical research projects required no physical files at all. The St. Louis project was different. It involved hundreds of papers from the client, dating back long before the internet was in everyone's house, supplemented by auxiliary information she was already dredging from assorted research sources that might or might not prove relevant. It would take time to sort through what she had to work with and find credible starting points for all the genealogical trails the work demanded. Files from decades ago rambled over the dining table and onto half the chairs. Well, all except the one Jillian sat on. Several stacks on the floor converged in a trail leading into the living room. But Jillian knew generally what everything was and what she intended to do with it. Eventually. I have a system, Jillian said. I know how to do my job. This contract is just larger than most.
Monstrously, Nolan said. I know you plan to subcontract some of it out to other genealogists once you get a better grasp of what all is here, but don't you think you could use a teeny bit of administrative help on the front end?
Maybe. She wasn't persuaded. I don't even know how I'd figure out what to pay someone. I'm still getting my head around the project.
The beauty of my plan, Nolan said, is you don't have to pay a penny.
Oh, no.
What does that mean?
It means, Dad.
Aren't you getting a little old to use that suspicious tone?
Jillian cleared her throat. Would you like to explain? The doorbell rang.
No time.
Nolan headed for the front door.
She's here.
Who's here?
Just give her a chance.
Dad! He wagged a finger at her. Nolan opened the door on one side of the spacious Victorian home that served as its main entrance. Jillian hung back, but she could see the figure on the porch. A waif of a teenage girl with bright pink hair, ripped cut-off shorts, and twigs for legs met Nolan's exuberant greeting with the deadpan expression of a comedic straight man. This was help? Surely she had a crate at her feet and was about to launch into a canned speech about how buying candy or magazine subscriptions would help underprivileged youth such as herself go to camp and develop leadership skills. Someone else would come to the door in response to Nolan's arrangement. Instead, Nolan welcomed the girl in. No crate of items to sell.
Jillian, this is Tisha Crowder.
Hello. Jillian knew who she was, at least by sight, and who her mother was. Brittany Crowder was 3 years ahead of Jillian in school. Everyone knew her. She'd always been popular. Then the rumors started flying that she was pregnant, even though she'd never had a steady boyfriend in Canyon Mines, that anyone knew about, and she was tight-lipped about who the baby's father was. But Jillian was a freshman and Brittany a senior, or would have been when the baby was born. She'd dropped out. The rumors shifted to saying that she never told a single person who the child's father was. Not her mother, not her best friend, not her doctor, no one. Jillian didn't care.